Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Rideshare Hub. My name's Greg. What I'm doing for you guys today is I'm going to tell you guys how I scaled up from being just an Uber driver who's trying to be an actor to starting businesses and getting multiple streams of income to where I was generating a really, really nice income, so a six-figure income. So it's been a long road. It took some time, but it's really, really doable. And the first thing I want to encourage you guys is just dream. Just take a second and just dream and think that you can actually do this, and think that there's a reason you're driving for Uber and Lyft, and there's a reason you were drawn to that opportunity. People like us that are doing things like this, we're looking for different outlets, for different things to invest our time into so that we can have time freedom and financial freedom. So I want to tell you guys about how I started from the day I was 21, just driving for Uber and Lyft, and I've scaled up over time to where I'm at now. And more importantly, I want to talk a lot about the networking skills that you can develop, or you probably already have from driving Uber and Lyft, that will get you to where you want to be. So make sure you listen tight. This is going to be a really dope episode. So let's jump right into this video. I don't want to go too much into what I do, because I've got, I think, a few videos out where I've talked about my businesses and what I do and how I really scaled up powerfully. I want to talk mostly into the networking that's required to do this. Uber and Lyft is an insanely powerful networking tool. I have been in sales for a long time, really since I was like 17. I've cold called thousands of businesses in people's homes. I've door knocked probably tens of thousands of homes. That was my main thing early on that I was really good at, was door-to-door sales, which, I mean, good Lord, that'll put hair on your chest. I don't recommend it. I honestly hated it. I just fortunately was really good at it. Maybe that was my acting talent more than anything. But that being said, I've done everything for networking. I've gone to all the events. I've done cold emails. I've done voicemail campaigns. That's basically where you probably are all going to hate me when you hear this, but it's basically where your phone would ring once and it goes straight to voicemail, and then I've got a pre-recorded voicemail. Hey, my name's Greg Wave. I heard you were looking for this, this, and that, and I'm going to give that to you. I just need you to listen to this pre-recorded voicemail, and we're going to get started to making you a monster income. I never did it that cheesy, though. I was usually actually offering a service. I did it a lot for a marketing business I run, and I would do the voicemail campaigns with businesses saying like, hey, I could scale up your company, get you 100 more leads a month, stuff like that. So, but what do I do now? I run 2 online businesses. I'm a lot more active in acting than I've ever been, and I also produce my own films as well. I have a little film and sound studio I run where people record podcasts, they record auditions, they do all sorts of stuff in my studio. And I've leveraged all of them to make really good money. And it's all been because of Uber and Lyft. Uber and Lyft allowed me to slowly scale up my life and take risks that if I was working a traditional 9-to-5 job, and I don't say this to like just take a big dump on 9-to-5 jobs, it just wasn't for me. And that's why I was doing Uber and Lyft in the first place, because I wanted to create a different life for myself. I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted my own flexibility. I wanted to make more money. I wanted time. I wanted to live my dreams. So, when I started, I was just acting in Uber. And then I slowly scaled up and I got a commission-only sales job. Some of you guys have probably heard me talk about that. So like I said, I'm not going to go into too much depth. I'm just giving a background for those of you who don't really know me. And then I started 2 online businesses, and I scaled those up to the point where they were autonomous and just making good money. So the biggest key to this is your ability to network. Now, you guys have probably gauged just from how I do these videos, I'm pretty good at talking to people. And I don't say that to toot my own horn. It's my most natural gift. It always has been ever since I was a little kid. I loved public speaking. I would go up to people in the grocery store and just yap away to them about anything. And that's why I'm good at these videos too, because I can just entertain and talk. So this is a very, very important skill. Now, this is something I truthfully believe everybody can develop, because a lot of the reason I've been really good at it is because I'm very I have a lot of empathy. And when I talk to people, I feel like I have the ability to really listen to them and kind of feel what their needs are and where their heart is, and then see how I can then help them with that. And a truly good salesman, I believe. I've always not been a fan of like the real con artist salesmen. I was never the, guy who's going door to door with some $2,000 vacuum that no one really needs. I was always really big on, I'm going to sell something that I believe in. So I sold solar energy for a while, and that's a tough industry because there are a lot of shady companies, but I found a company that did it in as much of an honest way as you can, I'll say. So I felt good about it. And that's the biggest thing. When you're picking a business or something, you want to feel like morally sound about what you're doing. I think that's really, really important, because then when you talk about it, you're going to be natural and you're going to believe what you're talking about. So when I started my marketing agency, I really believed this was something where I could provide a lot of value to business owners, because I'm like, hey, if I can make them more money per month, that's the goal, right? If I can generate them more leads per month, that's going to actually give them a lot of value. They're going to be happy with my services and not be looking at my contract and thinking, oh God, 3 more months, then I get this kid off my back. So to this day, the best client I have in my business it's 2 people, but I met them through Uber and Lyft. It was a Lyft ride specifically. And it was a 35 minute ride. And here's the big thing is I rarely pitch from the get-go. Now I might ask some questions that are kind of fishing a little bit. Really, what am I trying to get them to do though? The whole goal is to get them to ask me what I do. I don't want to tell them what I do. I don't want to just bring it up, because that's going to be annoying to people and they're going to smell that out. You have to be genuine. You really do. Now, there's things you can do to guide the conversation, like I said, but the biggest thing is be genuine. Be really genuine. So in this example, we had a 35-minute ride. Now, these are the best ones because you get to really build reputation. They get to feel your vibe, and you get that trusting vibe. No one's going to feel that when you're out door knocking and cold calling. Everyone's annoyed. That's why the conversion rate is so low for door-to-door sales and cold calling. So when I was talking to them, we talked about movies. We talked about how I'd done some acting, and I like to bring up the acting because that's my passion. I do make money from acting, but mostly it's my passion. And so I don't feel, and I know I'm not trying to pitch myself as an actor, because not a lot of casting directors that you're going to pick up that are going to cast the Uber driver, so I'm not worried about talking about myself as an actor, but with my business, I want them to ask. So talk. And with about 10 minutes left in the ride, they're like, so what else do you do besides acting? Or do you just Uber? And I'm like, bam, that's what I was looking for. And I said, oh, okay. And what I do is I like to kind of downplay what I do. So I say, I run this little marketing agency, and basically I do lead generation, social media marketing for small business owners. And they were like, oh my gosh, we have been looking for someone for months who does this type of stuff. Like, can we get your card? We got to talk. And now here's what's really important. You don't want to then come off that and be like, oh my gosh, wow, absolutely, because I need more clients, You want to not come off as desperate. So the really important thing, this is like so important when you're in the heat of the conversation. So what I said is, hey, that sounds amazing. Let's do this though. Let's set up a phone call or a lunch meeting, whatever you guys prefer. And let's just talk about some of your needs as business owners. And let's see if I actually have the ability to fit them and make sure we're a good fit for each other. What am I doing right there? I'm not coming off as desperate. And I'm saying things to where now I'm perceived as this guy where all I'm trying to do is fit their needs. I'm not pitching price plans right away. Oh, this is how much it costs. This is what I do. I'm just saying, let's see if we're a good fit. Real risk-free. No pressure. Let's grab lunch. Let's talk. Let's hang out. And that is like the biggest important step, because what I saw, I managed a lot of door-to-door sales crews, and one thing that I saw a lot of my guys do when we would be door knocking is once they thought they were getting that sale, they got real anxious, right? And so now they're real pushy, And and it's not even necessarily about what you say, it's your vibe, it's your energy, and people will feel it. Because we've all been screwed at some point by somebody like that, some salesman, some pitchy guy. So that's the next important step is then setting up that meeting. So I went and sold that meeting. And then what I do with my business, even if I know right away they need me, I always do a trial first, because I pitch it from the point of view of, hey, let's do a trial, see if we're a good fit for each other. That way you guys are in a risk-free scenario, and I'll do business for you for free for a week. Or like if I'm doing the marketing stuff, I'll be like, if you can just give me $100 to run ads, very, very small amount, $100 for a business owner shouldn't be that hard to do. And let's see if we can get you some leads with $100, and then we'll move from there. And people love that, because you know why? Most people are pushy. Most people are going to push for the sale. Even though I probably could have gotten the sale in that lunch meeting, I'm not doing it because I want them to feel like I'm here to take care of them, because I am. Because like I said, I come from a place of empathy where I'm trying to feel out their needs and really put myself in their shoes and think, what can I do to help them? Or do they actually need my help? I turn down people a lot of times if I don't think it's a good fit. I'm not going to sign them to a year-long contract and then take money from them each month, because to me, that's just ethically wrong. So the networking is very, very important. It's everything. Now, you can develop these skills. Like I said earlier, you can really develop the ability to talk and be natural. And I'm telling you, it starts with being authentic. Be you, for one, but even beyond that, it's the gift of empathy, the ability to feel. And this is not a hard thing to do. It's not. But when people are talking, really listen. Like, really try and hear them out. Really try and hear where they're coming from, and try and put them first. Try and think how you can put their needs before yours. So don't be thinking right away, how much money can I make off them? Be thinking right away, what are some things in my business that I can do that can provide a lot of value for them? And what's so great about this approach is it makes people will naturally want to do business with you. And so if people are on the fence and they're like, yeah, that sounds like it could be a good fit, what I do is I say, hey, you know what, rather than doing that, let me send you an email, just a little bit about what I do with a link to my website. And tell you what, I'll even throw in some data from a similar business owner. Now, obviously, if you're new, you're not going to be able to do this. But once you've had a few clients, what I do is then I'm like, let me throw in some data from some business owners that I worked with that own a similar business like you, and you can see what results they got. And then I send them a screen capture from my computer of a campaign I ran for someone and how many leads I got them. And it's a real easy way to just have like a lot of natural flow, So I think I'm going to cut the video off here. That's the base level of like networking and talking to people. Like I said, there's a funny thing that happens when you really care about people, where all of a sudden you're a lot more natural as you talk. And I was even like this as an Uber and Lyft driver. I always tried to put the customer first. Now, granted, I got ticked off a lot of times with people. I'm not acting like I'm some saint. I had my fair share of issues with people. So you're going to have your tough people. You're going to have your tough customers. But if you have the right business model, you might only need a few people to be reoccurring customers each month to give you a lot of value. So do your research. Look into some things that you might be interested in doing. My biggest thing is I don't like spending a lot of time on businesses. So I wanted things that had a lot of autonomous functions to where I can just set this up and it's going to work for me and generate money for me. I would really recommend looking into things like that. That's the future. That's the internet. That's what we're dealing with now. The traditional ways of doing business are kind of dying down. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon.